Are these sex myths true? 8 in 10 women have never experienced a vaginal orgasm. And if you have always struggled, you will be pleased to learn it doesn't actually exist. A recent study, published in the Clinical Anatomy Journal, discovered it is impossible to orgasm just by stimulating the vagina alone. And that's not the only fact about sex proven wrong by scientists. 1. It is possible to go blind with pleasure, true. An earth-shattering orgasm can cause blindness, albeit temporarily. Known as amaurosis fugax, a blackout can last for up to a few minutes. Strangely, it usually happens in one eye around the time of climax. Doctors are not sure why it happens but believe an orgasm can shrink the blood vessels in the eye. Cases are rare, but 6 years ago, a 66-year-old Danish man reported going blind after sex 3 times a week. 2. Only men get wet dreams, false. Waking up after a particularly naughty dream is enough to make any grown man cringe. But did you know that women can have wet dreams too? Women who have a nighttime climax will not necessarily ejaculate. A recent study found 40% of women had experienced a nocturnal orgasm, with around 1 in 3 women reported having one in the last year. 3. The more sex you have, the more you will be offered, true. Ignore sex guides and love manuals stuffed with nifty guides to snare a partner. Scientists say our bodies give off subtle sex signals called pheromones. And the more sexually active we are, the more chemicals are released. 4. Sex with your socks on is a turn-off, false. Keeping your socks on during sex is long regarded as a big turn-off. But researchers have claimed covered toes could help you have a better orgasm. A sex study in the Netherlands scanned the brains of men and women as they attempted to climax. Some participants moaned their feet were cold, so they kept their socks on. Those with warm feet were more able to achieve orgasm. 5. A penis can get stuck during sex, true. It is a scene you'd expect to find in a gross-out sex comedy. But this rare sex mishap is called penis captivatus, and its Latin name is pretty self-explanatory. When the penis is in the vagina, it becomes increasingly engorged. The muscles of the woman's pelvic floor contract rhythmically at orgasm. While those muscles contract, the penis becomes stuck and further engorged. A Brit couple were once rushed to hospital stuck together like conjoined twins on a stretcher. When doctors prized them apart, it's claimed they heard a loud pop. 6. Oysters put you in the mood for sex, false. Fishmongers have made a packet over claims that oysters are a sex stimulant. Its resemblance to the female anatomy is supposed to get us all hot and bothered. But scientists at Harvard Medical School have claimed that the seafood has no special ingredients that make you hot under the collar. Science still have a way to go before saying there is scientific evidence that claims oysters boost libido. But oysters do contain a lot of zinc, which is essential for healthy sperm. 7. Love bites are harmless, false. They are the ultimate badge of honor for randy teenagers. But sucking too hard on someone's neck can cause a stroke. In 2010, a New Zealand woman went to hospital when her left arm stopped moving. Doctors ran all sorts of tests and concluded she must have had a stroke. One medic noticed a bruise on her neck near a major artery. Further tests revealed that her suitor had sucked so hard it had clotted the artery to the point of near paralysis. 8. Bananas are an aphrodisiac, false. The yellow phallus-like fruit is packed with potassium and vitamin B, which are great for sex hormone production. But lots of other foods contain the same essential minerals. Sex experts have said bananas are only thought of as sex stimulants because of their resemblance to a todger. Eating a banana before bed is said to be a great sleep inducer. But leave the banana in the fruit bowl if you're feeling fruity. 9. Avoid having sex when you're ill, false. If you're laid up in bed with a fever and feeling sorry for yourself, sex is probably the last thing on your mind. But a U.S. study found people who have sex up to twice a week slightly boosted their immune systems. twice-weekly sex sessions have been linked with higher levels of immunoglobulin A. This antibody, found in saliva and the nasal lining, is thought to benefit our immune system, which could help you fight off your cold quicker. In one study, scientists asked 11 volunteers how often they had sex over the previous month. They then measured levels of immunoglobulin A in their saliva. Those who had sex once a week or less had a slight increase, compared with those who had not. But participants who had made love more often were found to have levels 30% higher. 10. You can't conceive if you are pregnant, false. Common sense would suggest that you can't get pregnant again if you're carrying a child. But you can. Conceiving while pregnant is an extremely rare, biological event, called a superfetation. It occurs when two separate fertilizations happen in the same cycle. Back in 2009, American Julia Grevenberg was shocked during a routine ultrasound to hear she had fallen pregnant again. Medics in Fort Smith, Arkansas, discovered a tiny male fetus growing next to her baby girl. It was believed the little lad was conceived just 4 days after the first fertilization. 11. Sex is the safest tranquilizer, true. Stressed out or unable to drift off? Put down the sleeping pills and roll on top of your partner. Scientists have claimed that sex is 10 times more effective than prescription sedatives. Nookie is the natural drug of choice when you're upset, lonely or depressed. Antidepressant chemical serotonin is released during sex and can leave you feeling calm and pacified. 12. Sex eases pain, true. Women suffering from chronic pain should try swapping tablets for sex. Stimulation of the vaginal walls triggers the release of corticosteroids and other natural painkillers. Experts say women feel less pain and sore muscles after an orgasm. What's more, the effects can linger for 2 days, experts say. 13. Female orgasm is more intense than male orgasm, false. Men and women have long disputed whose orgasm is more powerful. While measuring intensity is hard to prove, sex experts say the female orgasm is longer. Women's orgasms last around 14 seconds, compared to 6 seconds for men. 14. Arousal blocks bad smells, true. Bad body odor and strong perfumes can be a massive deal breaker. But pongs and bad smells are forgotten in the sack. A study found that we are less likely to be grossed out by unsavory smells during sex with a partner. The research, published in the online journal PLOS One, found our sense of smell is numbed during intercourse. 15. Women's breasts grow during sex, true. It may not be noticeable to the naked eye, but breasts can swell during sex. This is because of an increased blood flow during arousal. Scientists say the nervous system causes the blood vessels to dilate. Blood gets congested and causes the breast tissue to swell by up to 25%. It's also thought that the nipples can darken. Clarified?